The 7 levels of AI. This is a video that I've been meaning to make because a lot of people don't even understand where they are in this AI race. The AI race keeps continuing further and further, and a lot of us are still stuck at the lowest levels of AI where we don't even know the power we have in our fingertips. So today I'm going to make it simple for everybody to understand what are the 7 levels of AI, where you are probably currently right now, and how you can get to the next level so that you can either improve your life, make more money, save time, and use these systems to basically make your life better. So the 7 levels of AI starts at the first level, which is just understanding what AI is and how it works. So this is the prediction space. They call it the prediction space is because this is where we know that AI only works because it predicts what you possibly want. It's actually not in artificial intelligence, it's mainly prediction intelligence. So it's looking at all the data and all the patterns from the world and predicting based on your question what your possible answer would be. Have you ever seen how when you talk to ChatGPT, even when it's wrong, it retracts and tries to give you an answer based on the similar context. So it's using all that context, it's looking at the possible things that would match up, and then it's trying to predict what you want, which is why it's wrong a lot and it apologizes and tries to revert until you tell it something, and then you end up messing up your chat and it's a whole issue and you have to start a new chat. So that's the first level. The number 2 level is the Google Pro Max. So this is where basically everybody who uses AI is. This is where they use AI as a certified Google, a glorified Google, where they ask it about the weirdest stuff that it can answer very well because it has connection to the internet. But this is the lowest, this is the second lowest way and the second non-leveraged way to use it. Sure, it allows you to get your answer quicker, but this is only like 10% of its true power, which is why we want to go into the third level. This is where the money makers and the YouTube courses are pushing you. So this is the level of asset creation. This is where you use AI to help you create assets so that you can make money. So AI can help you make your courses, it can help you make your reports, books, it can help you do your presentations, all of these stuff that directly contribute into you getting money in your business. So it allows us to just supercharge how quickly we can get all of these things out. Think about an author who has to write a book that has probably 300 pages would probably take around a year or 2 years to write that book. But with AI, they can speed it down to a month, 2 months at most if they use it, if they're constantly working at it and getting feedback very quickly. So asset creation just allows us to close down the feedback loops that it takes to make something good in our company. Number 4 is the automation stage. So we've all heard of AI automation and Anyten and Make.com and all of these things. And for the people who haven't heard of it, these platforms just allow us to give AI sets of steps to help us complete a certain task. So if we look at asset creation, the reason automation is above asset creation is because if we know the steps to creating an asset, if we know the steps to creating a book, and we know what we need it to generate pictures, we need the text, we need the research to ensure the information is done properly, and we need to ensure that it's fact checked. All of these are certain steps that you have to take in order to get the end product, which is the asset creation. So if we could automate that step by, first of all, looking at how the text is made, and what context do we need to get the text generated, how is the image made, and what context do you need to generate the image. And you can create images with AI, by the way, so this falls under asset creation. So, and then what research do we need to have to ensure that this asset is factual, and then how do we check, how do we do feedback loops, and then you set all of these things in a platform called Make.com, whatever you want to, as a series of steps that every time we have a thing, we follow these steps and then we get our book, which is the automation side. So we just give it one step or a few steps, and then it will automatically generate the asset. Then this takes us to the next part of the levels of AI, which is the fifth level of AI, which is agents. Agents are basically the automation side, but the only difference is here on the automation side, I have to set up the steps to get the final results of the assets. At the agent's point, I just have to tell the agent what to do and what I'm looking for, and it will figure out the steps that it needs to generate the asset, right? So if I have a author agent or a book writing agent, I can just tell it I need a book about the 7 levels of AI, explaining it in a very deep format and with the right research, and ensure that you do the feedback loops, and it also has to have images so the user can understand. Then the agent will go, it will do the research, it will get the pictures, it will put everything together and give me the final product at the end. An example of an agent, an AI agent, is OpenClaw. So OpenClaw is basically a place where you can deploy a ChatGPT, a Gemini, any model that you use, so that you can speak to it, give it tasks, and it will return the tasks based on what you asked for. So that's an agent. Then the level above that is an autonomous agent, right? So already the agent is you give it instructions, it goes out, it does what it needs to do, it gives you back what you think. But an autonomous agent is an agent that basically works by itself. So the difference between these two is that here I tell it what exactly I want, and it will do that and give me what exactly I want. Here, an autonomous agent, I just have to tell it my goal and where I want to go, and it will automatically figure out all the steps that are required, figure out all the deliverables that are required, and then work by itself to ensure that I either reach that goal or come very close by giving me all the assets that I would require to reach that goal. Right? So it works by itself, which is why it's autonomous. I just give it the goal where I want to go, and it will figure it out. Then the last level is the level where a lot of businesses have not reached, but this is the enterprise intelligence level. This is when you no more are using typical ChatGPT, typical Claude, typical any of these AI chats that you find online. This is when you have your own in-house model. When I say in-house model, I mean you have your own ChatGPT that sits on a computer and it doesn't send anything out to the servers. Everything's just stored in that particular computer, and you use all your information to train your own ChatGPT so that it gives you the best results. You use own information to give autonomous agents that live inside this in-house ChatGPT to do particular tasks, to create certain assets for you, and all of these things. And then this is all the enterprise level is mainly about security and having a AI model that you train for yourself. So this is basically like your own personal robot that you can give information about, that you can tell all your deepest, darkest secrets to, and you know it's not going to be connected to the internet and send your data out. It's just strictly on one place, and you access it via that place, and it just has it gives you the power of AI without the security risk of giving out your data to ChatGPT, Claude, and all of these AI platforms. So these are the 7 levels of AI. A lot of us are here at level 2. Getting to level 3 and level 4 will allow you to do more with the AI that you currently have. So how do we get to level 3? We have to think about what are the things we do in our business, what are the things we do in our jobs that contribute to helping us make more money. So what are the assets that I have to create by hand? This is a question you would ask yourself. So what are the assets that do I have to create by hand, or that take my time creating, but every time I do create it, it helps us get more deals, it helps us sign new clients, or it helps us get new people in the business that help us grow the business. So if you, for example, of an asset you could create to get more people into your business so they can work for you, creating a document that show the benefits of working with you instead of another company. And usually this would take some time to create, but because of AI, you could make it a video that you could share online showing the benefits of your company and why people should work there. You could make it a booklet with the images that you don't even have to create yourself. AI can create the images for you of how good it is to work there. AI could help you write blogs, right? So you can start publishing more and more blogs about the small things that make your company unique and make it a fun environment and all of these things. So there's a lot of stuff on the asset creation part that would help you either get more people on board, help you create more valuable stuff for your clients and for the people you work with, and other things that are super awesome that AI can help you cultivate. Then the reason why I also get to the automation stage is that there's a lot of stuff in our business that is basically the same steps each and every time. Every time we want to achieve this goal, every time we want to do a presentation for a new client, we have to do the research. We have to gather the images that fit the criteria of your client. We have to ensure that it is done in this particular format. And every time you do it, it's the same steps over and over again. And it's just a bit of context that just changes. Well, AI automation can help you with that, because remember, if it has particular steps that is done that way every time, then we can just hand it over to a machine, to a conveyor belt type of machine where every step is done the same way every time. So think about how they make timber chips or Lays. On a conveyor belt, every step has its process. There's a process where the bag is printed and it's opened. A process where the potatoes are cut, and it's not people who are cutting the potatoes, it's a machine cutting the potatoes, then it throws it to the next process where the potatoes are cleaned, and then they cut into the Lay's pieces, and then they are baked. They are put in plastic in packages that were printed, and then they are sealed. The packages are sealed, and barely in that stage you don't see any humans. Maybe there's somebody who's just monitoring the whole system. Well, we could do that in our business just using the automation. It's just helping us go through each step that we have to take, and just giving it to something that can do it at a scalable way and faster than we can do it, so we can have a better quality of life. So these are the 7 levels of AI and how you could probably use them in your business. From number 5 onwards, this requires a lot of context and trainings, and because these require proper development. This is why we have our in-house coaching that helps people who want these levels of AI, where you can give an agent the power to create assets for you instead of you and your team creating it yourself. But because of the versatility and just the specific guardrails that are required, we'd rather just help you do it instead of giving you something and then it messes up, but because you missed a particular step that was important. So we'd rather just ensure that we check out those boxes for you before you deploy this into your company. So yeah, these are the 7 levels of AI. I hope you enjoy. See you in the next one.